We have some sad news, some disturbing news, really, in the pro-life realm. An elderly pro-life woman in her 80s was shot in the shoulder while talking to people door to door in a Michigan neighborhood. And this volunteer said she was shot in the shoulder while leaving a residence during a heated conversation, but the man who shot her was not a part of her conversation. She says she doesn't know who shot her or why, but she drove herself to the police department afterward to report the incident and is now recovering from her wound. She had been conversing about a ballot proposal which would keep abortion illegal across the state. Somebody might argue that that kind of violence against a pro-life advocate is an isolated event, something rare that happened because of some crazy person, right? But the DOJ just ordered SWAT teams to raid the home of well-known pro-life author and counselor Mark Houck because he shoved someone outside an abortion clinic 1 year ago. The DOJ is slapping Houck with an alleged violation of the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act. The charges were actually thrown out this summer, but the DOJ somehow picked them back up, his wife says. Houck had shoved a pro-abortion man away from his 12-year-old son after the man apparently entered the son's personal space and wouldn't stop yelling crude things at him. So this incident, which is over a year old, as I said, is what the DOJ used to justify a raid comprised of 25 to 30 armed FBI agents who burst into their home, pointing guns at the parents and the children, while the children ran upstairs screaming and crying. Joining us now to discuss, the founder of Centofante Strategies and pro-life activist, Alison Howard Centofante. Alison, great to see you. Thanks for being here. There is a national systematic attack, it seems, on the pro-life movement in this country. Do you think that it's being ramped up now that the Supreme Court has stood up for the unborn?
This news is so sad, Dr. Gina, to hear both about Mark and then about this elderly woman, 84 years old, door knocking for pro-life ballots. It really feels as though things are ramping up. And, you know, I just have to point out here, we should all be able to agree that pro-life Americans should be able to express their pro-life beliefs without fear of intimidation or violence. And that's what we saw. The FBI showing up at Mark's home over this, sending agents with ballistic shields and AR. I mean, I saw the picture that's out of this interaction. It's incredibly intimidating. And from all that I've gathered, Mark is a true blue kind of guy. He is a father of 7, a Catholic. He literally asked for his rosaries as they were arresting him. And his children were all present at the top of the stairs. His wife is talking about this to the media as they work this out. And it's so sad. Because what happened, it sounds like, and the courts agree, these were thrown out twice, as you mentioned, one by the DA and one by the lower court. The victim failed to ever show up. And this issue was him defending his little boy against a 72-year-old pro-abortion abortion escort, which is creepy in and of itself, who wouldn't leave his son alone. And so the major concern here is the increased intimidation tactics that are being deployed on pro-life citizens. And I mean, this is Biden's America. Yeah. If you look at his language after Roe v. Wade was overturned, as you guys have covered, it's increasingly demonizing pro-lifers, creating an opposition that should be targeted and now is targeted in Biden's America. So many are speaking up. There's a GoFundMe for Mark's family, already raised over $100,000 to help with the legal fees here. But it's not okay to demonize and threaten your political opponents with the excessive presentation of force like was done here.